Have you ever just felt, well, too aware? Like your brain is constantly analyzing everything and everyone around you, including yourself. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. So in this explainer, we're going to break down the psychology behind that exact feeling.
Is a simple question, right? But if you're watching this, you probably already know the answer. It's that constant hum in the background, that feeling that your mind is a machine that just will not power down, even when you really want it to.
And this is really the heart of it, isn't it? You're the one who catches that super quick micro-expression on a friend's face or that tiny hesitation in their voice. While everyone else just moves on, your brain kind of hangs on to that detail, asking, wait, what did that mean?
Well, the good news is, this isn't some weird quirk you have. It's actually rooted in a mix of well-understood psychological traits. Today, we're going to unpack 5 of the big ones that come together to create this feeling of being hyper-aware.
Okay, so let's start with the first piece of the puzzle, sensory overload. This is all about how your brain physically takes in the world around you.
So the official term for this is high sensory processing sensitivity. The easiest way to think about it is like this. Your brain's natural filter for information, it's just not set to the same level as most people's. It lets way more data through for you to process.
And this has a very real effect. You're not imagining it. Your brain is genuinely taking in more detail, those tiny shifts in someone's voice, the slight changes in their posture. Now, the upside is you see things that other people miss, but the downside, your mental processor gets overwhelmed much, much faster.
All right, let's move on to our second trait, because it really builds on the first one. See, it's not just about taking in all that data, it's about what your brain does with it. And that's where pattern seeking comes into play.
In psychology, this is called predictive processing. Your brain is basically a powerful prediction machine. It's constantly looking at what's happening right now, comparing it to this huge internal library of past experiences, all to figure out what's going on and, this is the crucial part, what might happen next.
And this happens in this super fast, often subconscious cycle. So you see a small detail, that's step 1. Your brain instantly connects it to a past pattern, step 2. And then it jumps straight to the prediction. So what does this mean? Now, this is a really useful survival skill, for sure. But it can also make you anticipate negative outcomes way before there's any real proof.
So far, we've been talking about awareness of the outside world. But for a lot of people, that powerful analytical lens gets turned inward too. And that brings us to our third trait, the self under constant scrutiny. This is called high self-monitoring. It's not just being aware of what you're doing. It's being hyper-aware of your own words, your tone, your body language, and you're constantly running this little script in your head judging how other people are perceiving you. And this is exactly why it happens. You have, say, a 2-minute chat with someone, and for the next 3 hours, you're just replaying it. Did I sound okay? Oh, was that a weird thing to say? What do they think of me? You're basically analyzing your own performance long after the show is over.
You know, that whole act of replaying events leads us right into our fourth trait. This is a cognitive habit that can keep your mind just spinning its wheels, the loop of rumination.
Rumination is when your brain gets stuck on a detail or an interaction and just plays it over and over and over. It's a thought loop. And the key thing here is that it doesn't lead anywhere productive. You're not actually solving a problem, you're just reliving it.
Yeah, this difference is so important. When you're problem solving, you're actually moving toward a conclusion, which helps lower stress. But rumination, that's like a hamster wheel. You're using up all this mental energy, but you're staying in the exact same spot, which only makes you more anxious over time.
And finally, let's talk about our fifth trait. This one is about more than just noticing feelings in other people. It's about feeling them yourself. Welcome to being an emotional sponge.
The psychological term for this is emotional contagion. It's this tendency for your own emotional state to be directly affected by the people you're with. You don't just see their emotions, you kind of absorb them and start experiencing them as if they were your own.
This makes the difference crystal clear, right? It's the gap between noticing someone's feelings, like I can tell my friend is tense, and actually absorbing them, where it becomes my friend is tense and now I feel tense too. And this is exactly why crowded or emotionally intense situations can feel so incredibly draining.
So when you put it all together, that high sensory input, the constant pattern seeking, the intense self-monitoring, the habit of ruminating and absorbing others' emotions, you get this state of being too aware. They aren't separate things. They're all interconnected parts of one big, complex system of how you see the world.
And that leaves us with one last question to think about.
This way of experiencing the world, it lets you see truths and nuances and connections that most people completely miss. So, is this heightened awareness a powerful gift, a heavy burden, or maybe, just maybe, it's a bit of both?